Hey folks, Eddie Lazzari here with Educated Veteran. Today we're going to talk briefly about cover letters. Now obviously we've talked a lot about resumes and resume writing so far, and I've gotten a lot of questions about cover letters. What's the difference between cover letter and a resume, or how do you write an effective cover letter? So I got some tips here. I got 5 things. This isn't all inclusive. There are other things you could do, but here's the 5 things that I recommend when you're writing a cover letter. First is do some research. Find out who the hiring manager or recruiter is. There's nothing more I wouldn't call it unprofessional, but it's unpersonable when the hiring manager or recruiter gets a cover letter and it's addressed to whom it may concern. Oh, that's awful. Especially if other cover letters that I'm reviewing are addressed to me. That tells me that some people took enough time and effort to actually find out who was reviewing the resumes and the cover letters. They addressed it specifically to me, and the ones that didn't, to whom it may concern, tells me that they didn't do the research. So you want to stand out right off the get-go. Do the research the best you can, all right? And if you end up not writing the actual person's name, but it's somebody in that office or it's another recruiter, because you don't know how the workload flows. You may know who the hiring manager is, but for some reason that hiring manager is out on leave or something, and it's somebody else is vetting potential candidates or something like that. So if you make an attempt anyway to at least try to find an actual person's name to plug in there, as opposed to just whom it may concern, it just increases your credibility on that cover letter even that much more. All right. Number 2, write a personal letter to that person. Hence the name cover letter. It's a letter. Make it personal. Number 3, folks, you are in sales. When you are writing a cover letter and a resume, you are in sales. You are selling yourself, whether you like it or not. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't like sales. I'm not good at sales. That's too bad. Hate to tell you, that's just too damn bad. You're in sales. Your job is to sell yourself. There's an excellent book by Grant Cardone. It's called Sell or Be Sold. And in that book, he talks about it doesn't, regardless of how you feel about it, you are always in one of 2 states. You are either selling or you're being sold to. And that's across the board. That's in your professional relationships at work, with your boss, with your coworkers, with whomever. It's with your personal relationships, with your wife, with your husband, with your children, with people that you know outside your friends, all the rest of your family. You are either in one of 2 states. You are either selling or you're being sold to by everyone all the time, whether you like it or not. So you might as well learn how to get better at it. I recommend that book, Sell or Be Sold, by Grant Cardone. And at the end of the day, people are saying, well, what's so important about sales? People want to do business with people they know, like, and trust. Know, like, and trust. If I know, like, and trust you, I feel more comfortable doing business with you. That's your goal in a resume. That's your goal in a cover letter, is to be personable and to get people, whoever it is that's reading it, to get to know, like, and trust you. That's basically the bottom line. It sounds simple, but it's not easy. Number 4, do not regurgitate your resume in a cover letter. There's nothing more frustrating than reading a cover letter and it's basically a snapshot of the person's resume. It just it defeats the purpose. They are 2 separate documents. They serve 2 different purposes. So don't just regurgitate your resume in your cover letter. And number 5, while you're writing your cover letter, you need to be asking put yourself in the mind of the recruiter and the hiring manager. And the questions that the recruiter and hiring manager have going through their head while they're reading your cover letter is, why consider this person? Why consider this person for the job? Why consider this person to read their resume? Why consider this person for an interview? So when you're writing your cover letter, you need to put yourself in those questions. You need to say, why consider me? Why should this person consider me for the job? Why should this person consider me for the interview? Why should this person consider reading my resume? Right? So ask the question, why consider me? If you put yourself in that mode, in that mentality while you're writing a cover letter, it's going to be a much better cover letter. So there you have it. Those are 5 things. Number 1, do your research. Number 2, write a personal letter. Number 3, you're in sales. Get used to it. Figure out how to do it. Number 4, don't regurgitate your resume. And number 5, ask the question, why consider me? If you do those 5 things, if you do nothing else but those 5 things, your cover letter is going to be head and shoulders above your competition. That's my tip for today, helping you become an educated veteran.